Hi, my name is LaShawn J, and welcome back to my channel. So today, guys, I just wanted to do a reaction video on this 19-year-old who put her baby in a trash can. Um, from an article I read online from Law and Crime, she's 19. She's from New Mexico, and according to her attorney, they're saying that she did not know that she was pregnant. Before going to the hospital for having back pains, let me put her picture up here. For having back pains, she was doing cheerleading practice. She was still in school and she did not know she was pregnant. The we have a video that's showing that before she got arrested and was bonded for $100,000, that she was confronted by the police. We had to have some video of footage on the police, the camera on them, and she's saying that the baby was not breathing when she had the baby. But in this article, is saying that the baby was breathing and the baby was alive when she had the baby. There was air in the baby's lungs, and she just clearly did not want to have the baby. So let me find it. He's trying to blame the nurses and doctors for the baby being stillbirth. Let's see here. Right here. He says nurses and doctors failed her. According to Mitchell, Gary Mitchell is her attorney, and he gave his statement to Crime and Law. This is a Crime and Law article that I'm reading off of. And he's saying that the nurses and doctors failed her. They never told her she was pregnant, and they gave her drugs for the pain that she was complaining about without doing a full physical and seeing what was the cause of the pain. So this is what he's alleging. And he's alleging that she didn't even know she was pregnant. So he's saying, according to Gary Mitchell, Treviso, I think her name is pronounced Treviso, was loaded with medication including Zofran, sodium chloride, and morphine after arriving at the hospital. They gave her major medication. Some of that medication is certainly dangerous to an unborn child or fetus. The medication was started without finding out whether or not she was pregnant. So this is her attorney, and this is what he's claiming, that she didn't know she was pregnant, that the hospital failed her. He also claimed that the hospital leaked some of her medical records to the public, which is malpractice. Um, the hospital did not comment on that. Um, but according to the autopsy that the hospital did on the baby when they found the baby, the hospital is saying that the baby had air in the lungs. It says, according to the autopsy conducted by the Office of the Medical Investigators, showed the baby's death was not consistent with a stillbirth, finding he had air in his lungs. So she's saying basically that the baby was born stillbirth, and she decided to put the baby in the trash can. Um, a nurse, after she was in the hospital, basically. She went to the bathroom. She had the baby. She cleaned herself off, and then she went back to the room where they had her and was administering medication to her. And a nurse, or was it a janitor, who went into the bathroom after her, it was blood everywhere. They cleaned up the blood, and when taking out the trash, that's when they found the baby's body in the trash can. And she's claiming to have been 9 months pregnant. She was doing cheerleading practice. She was doing her normal everyday teenage routine, and she had no idea that she was pregnant for 9 months. They do have strange cases that I've saw that people don't know they're pregnant, but after having the baby, right? You didn't know you was pregnant. You're shocked, and it's crazy. But after having the baby, wouldn't you be like, okay, this is something shocking. When somebody is in a state of shock, wouldn't they need some kind of help? The first thought was to put the baby in a trash can, in a plastic bag, and then put another bag over it and suffocate the baby. I'm not understanding that train of thought. So I'm pretty sure she knew she was pregnant, and she was hiding this pregnancy the whole 9 months until the labor pains kicked in, and she couldn't hide it no more, because labor pains, again, is certain things you cannot hide, and pregnancy is one of them. You cannot hide it, because whether you wear baggy clothes for 9 months, a baby still won't have to come. A baby's gonna come regardless. So she couldn't hide it no more. She ends up delivering the baby in the bathroom, and she's so shocked, she puts the baby in the trash can. Mind you, if the baby, according to the autopsy, was born alive, she could have just left the baby in the hospital bathroom, and I think it wouldn't be breaking the law, because I don't know if it's called abandonment. I'm not too sure. There's certain rules on people who don't want to have the kids, but putting a baby in a trash can and suffocating the baby, that was not a smart idea. She's a teenager and things happen. And I don't understand what kind of relationship that she could not go to her parent and just let the parent know, hey, this has happened. What are we going to do? Because that should have been the first instant. Because even in the video, you will see her mother continuously ask her about it. And she continuously lies and act like first she didn't know. And then she's just like, it wasn't breathing. Like, I don't know. This generation is crazy. Okay, guys, let me get my charger. Give me a second. My charger. Okay, so her lawyer is trying to blame it on the hospital because they gave her medication, and they're saying that isn't a tiny fetus. They gave her medication for pain, and pregnant people are allowed to take pain medication. There's been pregnant people on drugs, heavier than the medication they gave her, and they can still survive and are healthy and are thriving. So what the lawyer is trying to say is baloney. I don't believe it for 1 second. So let's just take a look at this video.
Never see it again.
It's what seasoned medical professionals called a bloody massacre, comparing this crime scene to a horror movie.
This is my
Brand
first
new
time
body
watching.
camera captures the unsettling aftermath when a high schooler gave birth in an emergency room bathroom.
And as you can see, she's running to the bathroom. This is my first time watching the video. She's running to the bathroom. She's not running to poop. What, she thought she had to poop? Like, it don't add up.
Allegedly killing her newborn son.
I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl.
On January 27th, 19-year-old Alexi Treviso was admitted to an Artesia, New Mexico emergency room.
And this is her mother trying to get the information out of her, and she's not saying anything, and she's crying, and she's just not explaining what she should have explained 9 months ago. Like, I'm pretty sure her mother didn't know she was sexually active. If she even went to a doctor, she would have had the doctor talk to her parents for her, where she didn't have to even say anything. Like, kids got to know this, because this is crazy.
After complaining of back pain, her newborn son was later found stuffed inside a trash can in a bloody bathroom she had just used. The high school senior was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence before her graduation.
She just had a baby. Do you see how she's walking out the bathroom like nonchalant? Nothing happened. She's good. Oh my goodness. I had 2 kids, and I mean, I didn't have them naturally. I had 2 C-sections. So that experience, I wouldn't know how you walk when you naturally have a kid. I know the C-section was horrible, and I was in a lot of pain after. I thought it was worse pain when you have the baby naturally, because I don't know. Some people get stitches down there. Like, her body naturally pushed out that baby, and she walked out that bathroom. I don't know if she had put on a tampon. I don't know what she did, because you bleed after you have a kid. What did she do? Like, she just walked right out the bathroom, probably put some tissue down there, and just went back to the room like nothing happened. I just want to see her walk back.
Her newborn son was later found stuffed inside a trash can in a bloody bathroom she had just used. The high school senior was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence before her graduation.
Wipes in her hand.
Discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my
And you
God.
see a nurse or somebody went in after her and saw all that blood. And I guess they called the janitor, and the janitor cleaned it up. And while the janitor was taking out the trash, the janitor found the baby. And this is them confronting her after she walked out the bathroom after having this baby, stuffing the baby into the trash. And she's just laying there like, it's just a regular day for me. My problems are all solved. I don't have to worry about this kid anymore. I might as well.
It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Long Crime Network first brought you the chilling body camera video last month when medical professionals confronted Treviso about the baby.
See, I told you about this.
But it
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Now we're hearing from medical staff who uncovered the gruesome scene after she gave birth.
When I went in there, it was a
There go the janitor.
Body camera.
There you go the janitor. This is body cam footage from the police officer. I know the janitor probably is traumatized. Her mother is traumatized. She's the only one in the situation, and she's the one going through the situation. She's just like, well, it came out of me and I didn't know what to do. So, what? It's a baby. If you find a baby on the street, what would you do? One comes out your body and you stuff it in the trash?
Camera video shows police officers speaking with medical staff who worked the night Treviso was admitted into the ER.
She said she needed to go have a bowel movement, and that's kind of when the whole thing happened.
Hospital surveillance video shows Treviso leave her patient room at 1:38 a.m., waddling toward the bathroom while clutching her back. Treviso remains in the bathroom for 19 minutes as multiple people check on her.
I knocked on the door and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom," is what she replied. So I was like, okay.
At some point, I went and kind of checked on her, knocked on the door, seen if she needed anything. She denied. She said she didn't need anything.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Flush, toilet flush?
Yes. After a while, I started hearing. So I probably checked on her 2 to 3 times. I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running. And I knocked again. Did she need anything? Denied anything. And then eventually it got to a point where I said, "You need to come out." And I asked the clerk to get the key to unlock the door, because obviously she locked the door to go to the restroom. And whenever we finally had the key to unlock it, she opened it and just kind of walked out.
Did she say anything at that
She
point?
didn't say anything. She was just looking kind of straight past me and went back to the room.
Surveillance video captures that moment as Treviso leaves the bathroom and heads back to the patient room. It was then that hospital staff got a look at the bloody bathroom for the first time.
And all I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like a horror film.
Police speak to multiple people who saw the bathroom, describing fresh blood on the walls, floor, and near the toilet.
The toilet's right here where you're at, and then the sink's right here. It was like up this way, blood splatter.
What if
Like,
He leaned on the wall.
In your line of work, what would cause that kind of splatter?
I think something that got pulled out or ripped. Like if you rip something and blood just went,
Splatter.
it was like once you see the photo, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just,
so like you say, like rip, like something went like that?
yeah, like when you rip something, or if you cut something and you go, like you swing your hand and blood just splatters.
Okay, so
That's how it looked.
oh, so this was fresh to you.
Yes, this blood was fresh. You
And-
could even smell it.
We didn't know what this blood was from. We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were gonna figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restroom, so the doc wanted to go check her, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Unclear as to what had happened, other nursing staff care for Treviso, believing she had a miscarriage.
So she came out of the restroom. There was a little trail of blood from the bathroom back to her room. We went to her room. I went to get her undressed. The doctor came in, explained to her that she had a miscarriage. Her and her mom had a back and forth about it.
The doctor said she had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it seems essentially, like, I'm not sure the exact words, because it was a few months ago, but she said, it seems that you've suffered from a miscarriage.
So at first, they thought she had a miscarriage because of all the blood. And she's still not saying anything to the doctor or anything. And she's walking fine. She doesn't look like she's in any pain. She walked out the bathroom like everything was normal. So they're just like, maybe it's a miscarriage.
Which didn't seem totally abnormal. It seemed awful miscarriages before they were very bloody.
Right.
And so...
Was she bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Like
And then there
her
was-
legs? And
Yeah, she had blood all down her legs, and then there was like blood in the bathroom everywhere. So
Where exactly was the blood and how much?
it was a good amount. It was like on the floor.
Minutes later, cleaning staff arrived to wash up the bathroom.
I was called and to go clean the patient's bathroom in ER around, maybe 2 o'clock or so, I think it was the time, I'm not too sure. So when I went in there, it was a gory, bloody massacre mess.
Could you describe it if possible?
Yeah, there was blood everywhere. There was blood on the floor, on the wall,
Do you remember which wall?
the one behind the toilet, and then the one on the side right here. there's the one where the toilet sits, back of that,
Yeah.
and then on the side,
Where the call button is?
yeah,
Okay.
and on the floor, everywhere.
After cleaning the entire bathroom twice, the cleaner grabbed the trash bag to toss it away. That's when she discovered the newborn baby.
When I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it. I knew that it didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there. And that's when I freaked out, and I called Lori and HT, or the nurses up front.
So if the janitor didn't think, because I mean, trash don't weigh about as much as a newborn baby. It's not like a home garbage where you put a whole bunch of stuff in the trash. It's a hospital garbage. Usually the only thing they'll put in the trash are like paper towels. It's a bathroom. They usually just have paper towels. So she's like, I see it's trash, it's paper towels in there after people wipe their hands or wipe off whatever they're going to wipe off. Maybe some people throw a cup or something in there. It shouldn't weigh, around 7 pounds, which is like a normal weight for a newborn, around 7 pounds. Some are heavier. And she's like, maybe it's the garbage bags. Maybe the roll of garbage bags, they put it inside the trash bag instead of underneath the trash can. Because I do CNA, and usually after you take out the trash, it's trash bags inside the trash can where you could easily open up another trash bag to cover in the trash can. So that's what she was thinking. They must have put the bulk of trash bags inside the garbage bag. So let me get it out and throw the trash out. That's when she started taking out the paper towels and everything that the nurse was saying that was he kept hearing the paper towel machine going and going and going because she was covering up the baby with paper towels. When she starts taking out all the paper towels to find the trash bags or the bulk of trash bags, she finds the baby.
And because there was a baby in the trash.
Mind you, she probably would have gotten away with it because they still didn't examine her. They assumed, just like they gave her medication without even giving her an examination and triggering the main point of her pain. They gave her medication. The first thing they're supposed to do is check her heart rate, check her pulse, ask her about her sexual history, have her take a urine test to find out where the source of the pain is coming from. But they didn't do that. They just gave her medication at first. And then when they saw the blood, they thought she was having a miscarriage. So they already assumed that she was having a miscarriage. So they probably would have let her go home thinking that she had a miscarriage. Hopefully they would have did some kind of examination, because it seems like, I don't know, the hospital seems like it's a little bit slack on protocol and what they're supposed to do. Maybe because of the time of day, maybe they're short staffed. Since coming from COVID, we've had a lot of people leave the nursing and stuff like that. So who knows what contributed to the hospital being a little bit lax on what they're supposed to do. But she could have gotten away with it.
And the baby, when I looked at it, the baby was wrapped up like in a, like at the bottom of the trash can, and with trash on top of it, in a trash bag.
And so how did you see it, like as soon as you picked it up?
No, after I picked up the trash bag that was on top,
Okay,
where
so
they were throwing the trash at, when I picked that up to change it, that's when I noticed that there was, when I seen the baby.
You describe the baby?
Yeah, he was about like that big. He had hair, and he was like purplish, but still not like pink. I don't know how to describe it. He was like, he wasn't bruised or nothing like that, and he was like purple, pink, it's skin tight color.
The cleaner then calls for a nurse who describes the disturbing moment the infant was discovered.
And then when I picked it up, that's when I noticed it even more because all I saw was black and purple. But once we picked it up, like the bag suctioned to his face. And that's when I yelled for my charge nurse, which was 8.
So the nurse is basically saying she put the baby face down in the garbage and then pushed the trash on top of the baby. And while he was trying to breathe, the bag, you know, if anybody ever put a plastic bag over their head, you know, they have this whole viral TikTok, rip me out the plastic, and they'll show you some people are struggling to get ripped out the plastic. When you inhale in a plastic bag, it's just going to suction to your face. It's going to get stuck to your face. Sick. It's sick.
And I told him, hey, she put her baby in the trash can. So I handed the baby to him. And he took off to the trauma room and opened up the bag. And then that's when we went and got Dr. Vasquez.
Police then hear from the nurse in charge, who says it was clear early on that the newborn was dead.
I go in the bathroom and she goes, something's in the trash can. I'm like, I looked in there, there's a clean liner. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, pick it up. I picked it, I could feel the weight. I knew then we had a serious problem. I just grabbed the trash can and went right across the hall into trauma 2. The liner was pulled out, but there was another trash bag in there in the bottom, but it was all it was rolled up. So I had to tear it apart. And then, of course, I saw the baby in there. So I pulled the baby out, got him on the bed, checked for signs of life. There was absolutely no life whatsoever. I immediately came out of there after I did that, went into the room where she was performing the vaginal exam, and I immediately told her, you have to come out now. And she came out, and we went into trauma 2, and she reassessed the baby. At that time, between me and Chris and her, we determined, you know, there was no reason for us to begin any life saving. The baby was completely gone.
Another nurse recalls the same moments.
And could you tell if the baby was alive or
They did
passed?
not look alive.
It didn't look alive.
It looked. But also, I think the time that passed since she left the bathroom and it being in the bag, you know, it was just
How long do you think that was?
maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. I just have a guess. I don't know. We brought the baby up. We called the doctor, obviously, out of the room from her exam, and we came in, doc assessed the baby, and basically determined it was not viable to completely work the baby and all of that. So.
That nurse tells officers he believes Treviso knew she was pregnant and wanted to hide it from medical staff.
It seemed like we were being just deceived from the beginning, but that's just my take on it.
And of course, she knew she was pregnant. Look at how she's dressed. She's 19 in high school. She's a cheerleader. She has on her shirt is at least 3 sizes too big for her. Sweats, too big for her. Nothing was fitted on her. If you didn't know you was pregnant, you would dress normally, right? You would put on the same outfits that you would put on when you go to school or doing cheerleading practice. Little cute cheerleader outfits. Why are you having all these big giant clothing on you? It's because you knew you was pregnant. You knew you was pregnant the whole time. And you didn't know what you was going to do. I guess I'm thinking when she got to the hospital, she was thinking maybe this is going to be how she would tell her mother, her parents that she's pregnant. That could have been her train of thought until the baby came out, and then she panicked. And instead of getting some help, you're in a hospital. If you don't want the baby, you explain to them, I don't want the baby. They would take care of the baby. They would put the baby in the right hands. That's what doctors, the hospitals are there for. That's what the police are there for. You put the baby in the right hands. So she didn't want to do that. She knew she was pregnant. It so happened to happen in the bathroom. And instead of coming clean, this is your last chance to come clean because the baby is here. Is nothing else you could do. The baby's here. You have to come clean now. And she still didn't want to come clean. It could have just oh my goodness, a baby life would have been saved, and her life would have 2 lives gone now because she's getting charged with murder charges. She's old enough to know right from wrong. Like, she's about to go to college and be on her own. Like, she's not a kid.
It seemed like she was very manipulative with us, and it was at least what it seemed like to me. She didn't want you to discover, that she was pregnant, and she wore really baggy clothing. Yeah, and she wouldn't sit still for you. I'm sure she was very uncomfortable too, but yeah, she wouldn't allow you to do it.
It seemed like she'd been trying to hide this pregnancy from her mother for some time. So if you know you're pregnant, you're not going to continue taking birth control pills. But if you're trying to hide it, you might start taking weight loss medications. That's just kind of what it seemed like in my head.
Other staff described the lengths Treviso allegedly went to keep her pregnancy and birth a secret.
The umbilical cord looked like an animal had tore it apart. Like, how, have you ever eaten string cheese? Like, when you twist it, that's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked. And I just remember it caught my eye, and I was like, God. I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart.
After this, medical staff called the police and alert Treviso about their discovery.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
And then I went in there to talk to the patient
Okay.
and asked her why was the baby in the trash can.
And what did she say?
She said that it just came out of her and she didn't know what to do.
And I said, did your baby take at least one breath when it first happened? Or did it take at least one breath, or was it not breathing? And then she kind of looked at me in the face and the eyes, and she was like, well, can I tell you? And I said, tell me what? And she said, so I've been having this bad abdominal pain, she said, and we came here to the ER, and when they brought me back here to this room, I felt like I needed to go poop. She said, and I asked if I could go to the bathroom. She said, and so when they said, yeah, that I could go to the bathroom, she said, when I sat on the toilet, she said it just all fell out. And she said, but when I had it in my arms, it wasn't breathing, it wasn't moving. And so, of course, you want to be very, very judgmental at that time, and you have to bite your tongue sometimes, but my first reaction was like, I wanted to say, hey, well, then why wouldn't you call us for help?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you call for help? You're in a hospital. You just had a medical emergency. You had a baby. A baby came out your body. And you don't call for help? You're claiming that you were pregnant for 9 months. You had no idea. And shockingly, you went to the bathroom, a baby came out. And your initial reaction is not, I need help. Your initial reaction is like, I need to hide this, because that was the plan all along. I really think if it didn't happen in the hospital bathroom and it happened somewhere else, she would have done the same thing, because she had 9 months to think about this and to think about what she was going to do.
But I didn't. She said, he wasn't moving, he wasn't breathing. So I just placed him in there.
Nurses who spoke with Treviso after the baby was discovered say she never asked about him. Instead, they say she was more concerned that she would get in trouble with her mother.
Did they have any comments?
Not one.
Really?
I was really surprised not one person asked me about the baby. If it was alive, if it was dead, if it was a boy, if it was a girl, no one asked me anything. Not even.
And I think the family's like extremely rich, and it was some kind of like embarrassment, because her bond was $100,000, and they was able to pay that off and get the money to get her bonded out. The school did not allow her to graduate, or go to like her prom because of the controversy that was surrounded around the whole baby situation. And yeah, so she missed out on graduation, she missed out on prom. She said she understood. Her attorney said that she understood, but you could see they want to detach themselves from the situation where they're just gonna, I'm gonna bail her out because, you know, I'm her parent and we have the money to, but we really don't want to be bothered with the situation. The family seemed like that, like, my opinion.
She
Not
didn't even
being
have,
patient.
no, she didn't ask. The only thing she started doing was crying and started talking about she didn't know what to do. No.
And even when you go back and you see the mother's reaction, and she's just like, so what did you do with it? I just talked to you about this. What did you do with it? She called it a it, like, was your grandchild. So
One, I've never seen in my, I mean, I've delivered multiple babies and I've seen multiple miscarriages and I've never seen a reaction like that. And I don't even know what to say about that. I've never seen anything like it in my
How would you describe the reaction?
I think there was no emotion except for herself, and she really wasn't even crying tears. She was just, and the only thing she was upset about was that I think she was going to be in trouble with her mother.
She didn't say anything about what had happened. She was just essentially worried that she was just going to get in trouble.
So that's what I mean. Were those the questions she was asking?
Like what's going to happen to me?
sorry that I'm keep pausing it. But how petrified of your parent that you have to be where you, after carrying a baby for 9 months, after having the baby in the bathroom, stuffing the baby in the garbage can, that you're still scared of your mother's reaction other than the consequences that you're going to be held accountable for. Like, what is her mother doing to her that she's so terribly petrified of her mother, where she, after stuffing a baby in a garbage can, she's not scared of the cops. She's not scared of the consequences of her actions. The only thing she's scared of is her mother. She's not scared that she could be possibly going to jail. She's not scared that she killed a living, breathing human being which shared DNA with her, which is her child. She's not scared of that she killed that child that came out her body that she carried for 9 months. The only thing that she's scared of is her mother. What are they doing to that child? This is probably why she hid the pregnancy for so long. And even after having the baby, she was sitting there crying and lying and saying that the baby wasn't breathing because she was so scared of her mother. That does not mean that she just gets off and she's not accountable for what she did. She's definitely accountable for what she did. But she has to have some kind of trauma dealing with her mother that she's so scared of her mother and would cause her to lead down this path. This is like something that rippled down, basically. If she was able to talk to her mother and confide in her and just let her know, hey, I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. I was supposed to be on birth control. I missed a pill or two, and now I'm pregnant. This issue could have been handled a long time ago. They probably would have took her to the doctor. She would have went and did the A word, and she wouldn't have to be here today. The mother and the family wouldn't have to be here today. If only the mother did not scare the daughter so bad. It's just like the controlling and people not being able to communicate with kids. This is where it leads to. Kids are scared to confide in their parents. And look at this. Horrible.
Like that kind of thing.
Did she ever ask about the baby?
No.
Not once.
She essentially was scared. She was worried that she was going to get in trouble. She did have the back and forth with her mother that was just about like, they had said, oh, the mom was upset because she had had sex and hadn't told her. So they were going back and forth on that, and then she was just denying it, which was a little...
I could not have said it better. After they found the baby, the nurse is saying, after they found the baby, the mother confronted her about her having sex and not telling her. And the daughter is denying having sex, even though she just had a baby in the bathroom that she herself stuffed in a trash can. She's still denying having sex. And then she's still lying about the baby not being a stillbirth, saying that the baby was not alive when she had the baby. I'm telling you, it's some kind of trauma going on where that child is terrified. And this is what her being so scared of her parent leads to. This is what it led to. Her being pregnant for 9 months and killing her own baby because she was so scared of her mother. Just putting that kind of fear in a child, these things lead to other things. This is ridiculous.
Wasn't really deniable at that point in time.
Right.
So
Aftermath, when a high schooler...
Guys, I think I was here. No, it was about 17 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I pushed the wrong button, but it's ridiculous. And I'm saying, the teenager, Alexi, should be held accountable for her actions. Again, regardless of how scared you are of your parent, there's a lot of resources out there for kids, especially about early pregnancies. And the doctor, she could have went to a free clinic, talked to a doctor, tell them she's scared of a parent, a friend, a family member, somebody. She had options to talk to somebody about this and get some help from outside other than in the home. She could have went to the social worker in school, a guidance counselor. There's a lot of resources. She's 19. She's old enough. She's about to graduate. She was about to go to college on her own. She's old enough to do her research. These younger generations are always on the computer. You're old enough to do the research and to get the help you need if you're scared and terrified to tell your mother that you're having sex and you're pregnant. I know it's a big bombshell to drop on them, but trust me, they'll get over it. Yes, you being pregnant, you're having sex is horrible news at first, but after, time goes by and they'll get over it because there'll be a million more things to come. That would be way more stressful than this point. Yes, it'll be a little embarrassing, but embarrassment is a part of life. Situations like this unexpectedly is a part of life when you have kids. So I'm pretty sure if she would have gotten some outside help, spoke to a guidance counselor, go to a clinic, ask them to talk to her parent for her. They would put her somewhere she's safe, away from the parent while they talk to the parent because she's scared. There's resources out there. She did not choose to use these resources. She chose to stuff her baby in a trash can. And she's old enough to use her brain and use these resources because she's applying for college applications. So I'm pretty sure she knows her way around things. She has a driver's license. She's in school. So she's doing cheerleading. She just decided to ignore the situation and plotted to get rid of the baby. It's ridiculous.
Kind of thing.
Did she ever ask about the baby?
No.
Not once.
She essentially was scared. She was worried that she was going to get in trouble.
We're just going to watch this part over because I accidentally...
She did have the back and forth with her mother that was just about like, they had said, oh, the mom was upset because she had had sex and hadn't told her. So they were going back and forth on that, and then she was just denying it, which was a little out of the, wasn't really deniable at that point in time.
Right.
So the patient was denying having sex at this point to her mom.
Yeah, she was trying to state that she was still a virgin.
After she came in from the bathroom.
Others believe Treviso knew she was up to no good.
She definitely knew what she was doing, and what was doing was wrong, because of the way she was talking to me, just stating, I didn't realize I was pregnant, and, but I'm taking the birth control, so, I mean, she was panicked, but, I didn't see her being in a state of mind where she did not know what she was doing.
Multiple hospital staff members say the incident is not one they will soon forget.
When there's like 1 or 2 things in the wastebasket, I usually pick it up and take it out, but I didn't that night. And then, I've been kicking myself on this, because I feel like, if I would have just taken it out, I would have seen it.
Well, no one prepares for that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't act like that. So don't blame yourself for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a natural thing to do.
I mean, it's just hard because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I've dealt with death before, but never like this.
Right.
It was horrible.
I'm just going to tell you this. I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl. I don't even know what to say about it. There was zero emotion. I don't even know what to say. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen women that are only married, or not married, but pregnant for 6 weeks, and they lose that baby, and they're a mess. You know what I mean? That girl went in that bathroom, made no sounds at all, and the baby came out of her. And I don't even know how she functioned that way, to do what she did and with no emotion. I've never seen anything like it.
And it was a pretty good sized baby. Pretty good size.
It looked term to me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was term. I can't tell you that was, but the only thing that upsets me the most is, I understand she was scared, and I think her mother had a big dynamic on her, and I understand that. I mean, I think her mother was probably pretty controlling. I don't know that. I'm just speculation. But she gave me no chance to save that baby. I had no chance, and that's not what I do. My job is to save lives, and I had no chance on that baby. She gave me no chance. And we are a facility that you can drop the baby off, no questions asked. You can just leave the baby and go.
That's what I was saying. You're in the hospital. You could, I'm not sure about the facilities or the places. I know a fire department, a police station. You could just bring the baby there, even having the baby in the bathroom. You could have called the nurse in the bathroom, pull the bell. It's a bell in case of emergency. If you slip and fall, something happened, it will flash and somebody will come to the bathroom to assist you. You could have rang the bell and called somebody in the bathroom, a nurse, called the doctor. I just had a baby. I know I've been pregnant for 9 months and I'm scared. My mom is there. I don't want this baby. It's my baby. She's 19 years old. She has all right to give up the baby right there and then. Tell them, put me in another room, examine me, but I don't want this baby. I want to walk out this hospital without having this baby with me. Whatever paperwork you need me to sign, I'll come back and sign it, whatever the case is. I just had this baby. I've been pregnant. I don't want this baby. That's all. That's it. It's not that hard.
No, I don't care.
You know,
as long as you bring the baby to a safe, we are one of those type of hospitals, so it's hard to fathom what was going on in her mind. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that, and I pray to God I never see it again.
A jury trial date for Treviso has been set for October 2nd. If convicted on the top count of first-degree murder, she could face life in prison. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
I've never.
Okay, guys, let me get back on here. So, yeah. So basically, yeah. So you hear the full story, and her attorney is trying to say that the hospital was basically could have been the cause of the stillbirth. But they're telling you that it wasn't a stillbirth because the autopsy showed it wasn't a stillbirth, as to the article that I was reading earlier. And the nurse who picked the baby up out the trash can told you if it was a stillbirth, the plastic would have been stuck to the baby's face like the baby was trying to inhale oxygen, but it was stuffed in a trash can and it couldn't take in any air. It breathed in, it inhaled the plastic. It got stuck to his face. So you know for a fact it wasn't a stillbirth. She claimed that she didn't know she was pregnant, and right before that, she was at cheerleading practice. I think he said it was. Yeah. He's basically, this is her attorney, and he's basically that their defense is that she didn't know she was pregnant. Yeah. He said, I'm absolutely convinced that not only will we be able to show that she's totally innocent, but we'll be able to show what some people might call malpractice that took place. So he's putting all the blame on the hospital. Their defense for that family, the Treviso family, is going to be putting their blame on the hospital. Her lawyer right here. And stating that she didn't know she was pregnant. She was 9 months pregnant. She didn't know she was pregnant. And she put the reason she put the baby in the trash is because the baby was a stillbirth. In his defense, the baby was a stillbirth due to them giving her medication, due to them giving her Zoloft, morphine, right here, due to them giving her Zoloft, morphine, and sodium chloride. That is basically their defense on the situation, which I don't know. I watched a case like this before with a young lady who they said burnt the baby or she buried the baby in the backyard. She clearly, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. She was acquitted of all charges. I don't know if I could find that for you guys. But she was acquitted from all charges because of the way she looked. She went to prom, and I believe what helped her case was they believed she really wasn't pregnant because she went to prom and she was dressed regularly. She didn't have no baggy clothes on. She wasn't hiding anything. Her body was so petite that she was 9 months pregnant and she looked like all she did was she ate a meal. You know, she had a little pudge, but nothing serious. She did look like she could have been 9 months pregnant and not know just because of her physique. And right after prom, she had the baby. I don't know. She also made claims of the baby not breathing, and she buried the baby in the backyard too. This was another case. I think it was about 3-4 years ago, and she got acquitted on everything. So I'm gonna keep up with this case. Hopefully in October, we'll find out what happens with her. Will she have the same fate where she's acquitted? And will this be like a trend now that everybody could just toss their baby away because they believe nothing, no repercussions? They'll just say, hey, I didn't know I was pregnant and I could just toss this responsibility away. And then with, the heartbeat law and everything, are we going to be seeing a lot more of these type of situations because certain states won't allow you to get rid of the baby early? You have to have it, or you have to have the money, or you have to have somebody to take you to another state to get these procedures done. So it's seeming like it might be a little more, it's gonna start being a little thing now that these kids are just gonna say, hey, I didn't know I was pregnant, so the baby wasn't breathing, so I just did this. So I'm going to keep up with the case, and I just wanted to come and give this video because I really was interested in this specific scenario. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my videos and would like to be notified every time I upload a new video.